everyone, and welcome to another video. I'm recording this on the same day that I just did a cash stuffing, so I have been at an event that was in the cold and the rain, and I'm wondering if I'm going to get a cold, so I'm drinking tea, an abundance of tea. But today I want to do my savings challenge video, and I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do right now because I have 3 binders set up for savings challenges. But before we get into that, welcome if you're new, and welcome back if you've watched my other videos. Who am I? I'm Sarah. I'm a multi-genre author of romance, fantasy, and horror books. As an independent author, I'm responsible for all of my publishing expenses. In an effort to make intentional decisions and to make my writing profitable, I'm trying new ways to budget and save my money, and I hope my experience can help other authors and creative entrepreneurs figure out how to spend their money. This channel is typically dedicated to my fantasy and horror books, which I write under the pen name Sara Marks. You'll be able to find links to those books as well as my rom-com pen name, Sara Marks, and the products I use in the description below and in some of the comments. And what should you know before I get started? If you've heard this before, welcome back. If you haven't heard it before, this is who I am. I am a part-time indie author. This means all the expenses of publishing and promoting my books fall on my shoulders. I do not have a publisher to do any of this, but I do have a full-time job that I can afford to do this with. It pays my bills, funds my savings, and takes care of my retirement. And I'm only considering my creative business needs when I do these videos. But this is about savings challenges, and my savings challenge brain has gone overload. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I've created and what I'm going to do with money. What money are we talking about? My unicorn fund. But alas, unicorns aren't real. So I put aside money each week for groceries and personal spending. And at the end of the week, whatever's left over goes into my unicorn fund, and I use it to fund my savings challenges. Since I take money from my personal, at this point, I don't make enough from my writing to pay for my writing. I overspend, but they are necessary overspends. So I do take money out of my personal full-time job income to help pay for those costs. It means I publish at a loss when it comes to taxes, and I don't pay taxes on this at this point based on what I earn and what I spend. But I'd like to. Yet at the same time, I'm trying to get a handle on my money. So doing the savings challenges and using it to give a little extra to my actual book budgeting, it seemed like a fun way to do this. So this month, this is what I have extra. Let's get it a little organized before we start counting things. All right. And one thing you should also know, typically I record my audio ahead of time. I mean, after I have video recorded the content, but I'm trying to see if this is easier, or at least a little more engaging. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 10, 20, 120, 3 singles. All right. So where am I going to put this? Well, I have a couple options. I found this amazing unicorn binder. It's a sticker binder. I just decided to reuse it for envelopes because they are the perfect size envelopes for other things. One thing I'm doing, and that's these, and you can see them here, is a credit card savings. I am paying down some credit card debt, and I do want to make it fun. There's not going to be money in those little slots because it's just going to get colored in as I pay things off. But this is a way for me to sort of gamify getting down my credit card debt. Over here, I'm doing a no spend challenge. So every time I spend money unexpectedly, I need to color in one of these. And I have 2 colors for this month. And because I did it on purple paper, it was what I had on hand. I wasn't going to go buy paper just to print these. I picked colors that might show up. So today is the 4th of June, and you're probably seeing this like a whole month later. Yeah. So for me, the rules of a no spend are, and I have my tips on the back because I am going to put this up for people who might want it also. There's lots of people have no spend challenge games. I have Canva and a lot of cardstock. I didn't see why I should pay when I'm perfectly capable of making. But I know people want their lives a little easier. So each day of the month, I have to color. Did I spend unintentionally? If it was groceries or eating out, if it's already budgeted money, like the $100 I have to spend during the week, it's not considered a spend day. But if I buy something that isn't anticipated, it is. So, no spend days. That was the 1st and the 2nd. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't do anything. I didn't buy anything. Well, I went to work. But I didn't buy anything that was unexpected. So they get that. And then yesterday, at the book fair market that I was at, I bought a $15 blanket. It was cold, but it was not an anticipated expense. It did come out of my weekly spending, but because I didn't anticipate it doing that, I'm considering it a spend. And then today, I stopped at Dunkin' Donuts. So, there we go. So when I do a brown color in, I have to give myself $5, and I have 2, so we give me 10. I'm calling this an anti-challenge to myself because the goal is to not have any money in there. And this money, it's not going to go to my personal, it'll go to the book. So it's really just a savings challenge in the end. So I have 11 of these, and then I'm keeping my savings accounts. I have a thing with tactile, kinesthetic engagement with my money. I want to touch things, and I remember having bank books as a child. So this is my book savings account, for example. It's just the cash register. This is how much I had when I started. I closed a CD. That's part of, and if you've seen the previous cash stuffing video, you'll know that I already had $300 in the bank. We're ready to go for my covers, and then I took $100 out of 2 other funds so that this $500 could just sit in this account, and the cash went to other cash needs and other accounts. So that is how I'm keeping track of what's in that book account specifically. I also have a travel account and my general savings that I am keeping track of. And then I'm keeping other things in here and stickers. So that's that. And I wanted to show you that on camera, not because it's special or book related, but because it is something I'm doing to help me save money. This is my National Novel Writing Month binder. I think I've already shared the video about this one. I can't keep track anymore. I just make videos and then schedule them and then don't think about them anymore. But the cash to do the challenge is already in here. So if I have to find $26 in singles for something, since I have 3 here, and it wasn't that I didn't have it, I just didn't have it in singles. So now I can say 23 in singles. It's not about, there's plenty of other savings around, obviously, but the point with this is that for every 2,000 words I write, I put aside $2. So I need to have $2. I need to have either $2 bills or singles, and singles are a lot easier to get. I know that people in this community love their $2 bills. I just don't have any, and I'm not gonna like make a stink about it at the bank. All right, that brings me to the main savings challenges. And I found acetate paper. Like, if you're Gen X, maybe older millennials, you'll remember acetate paper was this clear sheets that they used to put on top of projectors so that they could project something onto the screen. Early slideshows were done like this. And the closer we got to PowerPoint slide decks, the less frequently this was used. I remember in the early 2000s when I did a thesis defense for a degree, I created the slide deck on PowerPoint, but they didn't have a projector at the university that could be connected to my laptop. They didn't have projectors at all. They had overhead projectors where you laid this clear sheet on the light source and it projected it onto the wall with mirrors. You might find these every so often. But for some reason, I found in my office at work more blank ones, and they were for printing. So I printed some just random shapes on them to make it look pretty. I have to cut this one down a little more, but they're good dividers and good dashboards. This was just some scrapbook paper I found. Honestly, I've been going through my stash of things I don't really need but needed to buy. So $1 savings challenge, $5 savings challenge, I'm skipping because I don't have those. The nano savings challenge I just pulled out and put in the nano binder, so that is empty. And then we have audiobook savings. And this is the audiobook challenge. I don't know if I've shared it or not yet, but this is what I'm doing. For every 25 I put away, I color in another one. My goal is to get to about 1,500 to 2,000 to pay for a new audiobook of my book, Modern Persuasion. That was my first book, but it has been edited and updated since I initially wrote it, and I'd like the audiobook to reflect that. And the narrator I want is an expensive one, and because I already write at a loss, I thought a savings challenge would be a fun way to pay for it. So let's see what I have left. I have 110. Now I could put all 110 here, but I'm not. I'm gonna keep out the 10 because it's not 25. And I am going to put aside another 40. I'm only gonna put in 60 because I'm not in a rush to do this. I'm in a rush to do a few other things. So we're gonna add 60 and I'm gonna see what I have. So I have 510, and I am going to be highly considering putting some of that in the bank because this is going to take a while, maybe a year or two. I don't necessarily want to keep that cash in the house, but that is a significant chunk of change. It's like a third. So we have 1, 2, 3, 100, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. No, I have miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5. And I won't color in another one because it's a 10, not anything else. So what else is in here? Right now there are just some random savings challenges that I bought to do. I don't know what. And then I found this is going to be my refrain for this channel. I don't know if anybody's ever done the sticker subscription service Sticky, and I don't know if they do. It's been a few years since I participated, maybe pre-pandemic, because I have a sticker obsession that wasn't being used. They would send you these to create your own sticker binder, and it has different pockets. So I thought I would do savings challenges. This one's a $500. Let's see what we have. We have 50. Trying to see if there is a 50 on here. There doesn't look like there's a 50, but there's a 20 and 2 10s, 2 20s and a 10. So we'll do that one. Let's have some fun with color though. These are my IKEA markers. Again, I found them in my house. So if nobody ever ends up watching these videos except for 10 people, at least I will have used my stuff to create these things for me to save money with. It finally feels like I'm doing something productive. All right, so I'll put the 50 into the back. And when I have finished the $500 savings challenge as I go on, those will probably be integrated into things like my annual expenses or my rent on my studio space. And I am working on getting more traditional A5 envelopes so that these can be like just temporary placeholders, but I've got a bunch of them. And these aren't even all the challenges. So we're just going one by one until I finish the challenge and move on. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what you think I might do with the spare savings challenge back here, and other things you might have found around your house as you started budgeting that ended up being very helpful. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, because I do try to do 3 or 4 of these a month on this channel, then subscribe and ring the bell if you want notifications when I put up a new video. Thanks. Have a great week.